Hello and welcome to Eberly Public Library's Adult Take and Make tutorial for the month of August. This month you're going to get all the supplies you need to create a paracord bracelet, and so your bracelet will look something like this. Paracord bracelets are pretty simple to make once you get the hang of the knot that's used, and they are popular because you can unravel the bracelet pretty easily and use the paracord for survival or something else that you might need cord for. And it's kind of a fun technique to learn how to make this knot design. The knot design is also used in macrame. So if in your kit, you will get 2 different colors of paracord. Now we're only going to use one for the bracelet, and you only have 1 buckle. So you're getting two color choices, essentially, is what you're getting. There is a way to make a 2-colored paracord bracelet. However, it's a little bit complicated to fuse the ends of the paracord together. You have to use a lighter. And so we've opted not to include those instructions because it's a little bit more complicated. But if you want to try your hand at 2-color paracord bracelet, you should have plenty here, so feel free to look that up and try it on your own. You have a buckle, so you'll use that for your bracelet, and then the supplies that you're gonna need are a tape measure or a ruler works. You're gonna need some scissors. And at the end, you're going to want a lighter or a match. This is just when you cut the ends off so that they don't unravel on you. So it's just going to be at the very end we're going to use this. So if any children have picked up the kits or you picked up a couple extras, just be careful with the match and or the lighter at the end. The first thing that you need to do is you need to measure your wrist. So if you're using a tape measure, you can just measure your wrist using the tape measure. If you're using a ruler, you're going to want to take the paracord, whichever color you want to use for your bracelet. Again, it doesn't matter. And then you can wrap the paracord around your wrist and then measure that. But if you're using a tape measure, you're just going to want to, simply measure your wrist, and we'll add a little extra at the end. So if you measure it where you normally wear a bracelet, then you'll get that inch number, and you're going to want to write that down. You're going to take the number of inches that your wrist measured, and you're going to multiply that number by 12. So you may or may not want a calculator for this or your phone. So for instance, I've got 12 inches. So I'm going to take, I got 6 inches of my wrist measurement. So I'm going to take 6 and multiply that by 12, and I get 72. This is where you're going to add an extra 10 inches. If you want to be safe, you can add a little bit more. So I'm going to round up to like 82 inches just to make sure I have enough cord. So that's where I'm going to take my paracord. So I'm going to use this blue here. And if you have a ruler, this will work too. You're just going to have to adjust a little bit. I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to measure out 72 inches. And my tape measure only goes till 60, so remember that. And 60, and I need 22 more inches to get to 82, so we're gonna go to 22, perfect. And that's basically the length of the cord that I have. The cord that I have is gonna be a little bit shorter than the one you have, so you're gonna have plenty of cord. All right, so the next step once you've cut your paracord is to fold it in half. So you're going to match the 2 loose ends together, and then you're going to have a loop on the side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your loose ends and thread it through one end of the buckle. It does not matter which one. And mine's just a little frayed, so you just want to be careful if yours frayed a little bit. All right. Get that in there. Match the ends up, and then you're gonna pull your cord tight. So you'll see I've pulled it now through the loop. Then you're gonna take your loose ends and pull it through this loop here. And that will secure your paracord to your buckle. Now on the back side of the instructions is a photo that may help if you're having trouble with that step. So again, thread the loose ends through the buckle, then take the loose ends, put them through the loop that you created, and pull, and it'll snug up to your buckle. So once you have secured your loose ends to the buckle, you're going to actually unbuckle, and you're going to take your loose ends and thread them through this buckle that doesn't have anything attached to it. So thread my loose ends through here. And again, if yours has frayed a little bit, it's going to be a little tricky to get it through. If you're having trouble, you can always take like the ends of a scissors, a toothpick, something like that to help you thread it through. But if you can pull it through. All right. So now we're going to switch camera angles, and I'll show you how to proceed. So you've got your loose ends through the second piece of the buckle, and what you're going to do is you're going to lay out your tape measure. So you want the measurement of your wrist. So in my case, I measured 6 inches, and then you're going to add an extra inch to give you some wiggle room. So I'm going to go to 7 inches. So I am going to kind of measure out here from the buckle piece, and I'm going to measure up to 7 inches. So I need to go a little bit smaller here. And so that's the measurement including your buckle. And if you're a little bit over, it just means your bracelet will be a little big. So there we are, 7 inches. You may want to use a piece of tape to secure the end of the buckle to the table. But first, you're going to want to spread out those ends. All right, so your paracord should look something like what you see on the video. You have your length of the wrist that you measured plus 1 inch, and then you've got your 2 strands over on the side. Now is the weaving part. So it's just one basic weaving that you're going to need to know. So you're going to start with the paracord that's coming out of your left hand side. And so you're going to go under the center strands and over this right side. Then you take your right hand yarn and you go over the center stitches and you go through this big giant loop that was created here and pull tight. All right. So once you do that, you have to do it the opposite way. So we started with our left, so we're going to start with our right, and we're going to go under the center and over the left hand. Then we take the left side of the paracord and we go over the center and through the hole, and then pull tight. And as you can see, it creates that little V shape similar to the one in yellow, or it's a little bit easier to see what you're looking for. Then you just repeat that all the way down. So we did our left and our right, so we're back to the left. So we're going to take our left-sided yarn and go under the center and over the right-hand side. Take the right, go over the center and through the loop. And pull. All right, so we did the left. We're going to do the right. So take your right, go under the center and over the left. Take the left and go over the center and through the loop and pull. Easy thing to say when you're creating this bracelet is under, over, and through. So you're going to keep doing that pattern until you get to the other side of your bracelet, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I've got my bracelet done. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim the ends. So I'm going to take my scissors and just trim the ends here. As you'll notice, it's going to start fraying. So you're going to take your lighter or a match, and again, please be careful with this step. So I'm going to just burn the end of the rope, and then I'm going to take the edge of my lighter and kind of secure it down to the rope in the middle, okay? And so you're going to want to use the end of your lighter or a pliers, or you could use your scissors. Just burn it enough, and then if you can just press it down, hold it, and it'll stay on the inside and it won't fray. So you're going to do the same thing with the other side. Just burn the edges. And then I'm gonna just take my lighter and hold it. So if you're having trouble with your lighter, I would recommend a pliers. You can light the ends and then hold it together for a little while and see if that helps. What burning it does, in addition to kind of melding it together, is stopping it from fraying, so you don't end up with something like this at the end of your bracelet that just keeps unraveling. And then once you make it, you can either wear it, you can use it as a keychain, you can just keep it, you know, whatever you want to do with it. Just something fun and different to try. And this one's a little bit more involved than we've had in the past. So if you followed along, I hope your bracelet turned out. If not, give it a try. Remember, you can always unravel it. So if you've realized you made a mistake, unravel it, start again. And I hope you have fun with it. So we'll be back in September with another take and make craft.